What's up guys, Coach Albis here. Let's go through a internal rotation setup for your shoulder that can help you with your shoulder mobility. We're gonna set up in this side lying position, as you can see, right? I got my legs out in front of me so that way I try not to compensate with my torso. I'm gonna set up my left arm into a nice packed shoulder so that way I'm not using any of that scapula. I'm trying to keep that scapula out of this motion. I'm gonna set up in this 90-degree angle, and then I'm gonna go into internal rotation of my shoulder, right? And this is my active range that I have available to me right now. And then from there, I'm gonna go into a passive zone, trying to feel for the stretch on the back part of my shoulder and maybe a little bit into the top of the shoulder as well. And once I find that stretch, I'm kind of holding that stretch for about a minute or two, preferably 2 minutes, right? So that my nervous system can acclimate to the stretch. And then once I'm done, right, with those 2 minutes, let's say we're done right now with those 2 minutes, I'm gonna apply a Pale's contraction. I'm gonna sniff some air into my stomach, and then I'm going to take that bottom arm and I'm gonna try to drive through my top hand, which means that I'm trying to go in this direction with that bottom arm, right, the working arm, and my top hand is going to serve as a block. And I'm gonna ramp up the intensity slowly, right? So I'm gonna start off at about 30 to 40% intensity, and slowly but surely I'm gonna press harder and harder into this top hand so that I'm starting to feel those tissues that were on stretch. Now they're contracting, now they're working. So I'm generating a whole bunch of motor units and all kinds of stuff into the shoulder because the shoulder is now working, right? And so I'm gonna ramp that up slowly, 50%, 60% of my total effort here, 70%, slowly ramping up to my greatest, safest effort. Once I get up to that greatest, safest effort, right, I'm gonna press into my hand real solidly. As you can see here, I'm not moving at all. I'm just pressing using my isometric contraction here to really generate some force into that top hand for the next 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then the next movement is to sniff some air into my stomach and go in the opposite direction. The top hand isn't gonna move. It's the bottom hand that's gonna try to run away from that top hand, going more into internal rotation of this shoulder, right? So this shoulder, I'm trying to rinse out as much internal rotation as I can, going right to my greatest, safest effort right away, right? For about 30 seconds and really maxing out the whole time, right? Going into, again, that greatest, safest effort, really driving that hand towards the ground. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then I'm gonna take that top hand. I'm gonna take a few deep breaths from there, relax the shoulder in the new position that I just acquired from doing my Pales and Rails, right? And a few breaths later, then I might see if I can get a little bit more stretch from that shoulder, which I can. And that would be your Pales and Rails contraction, right? 30 seconds Pales, 30 seconds Rails, remembering that the Pales contraction ramps up slowly and the Rails contraction ramps up right away to your greatest, safest effort. And then breathing at the end of that, relaxing the shoulder and just enjoying the stretch position for a little bit. And then what you might do is you just might go into a little bit of axial rotations here, just to kind of feed that shoulder some information, right, about what you just did, because you want your nervous system to now record kind of like the work that you just did, so that now you might have a little bit better function out of that shoulder. But remember, this is something that you do over the course of time. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you for the next video. All right, take care.